I'm your friend, Dr. Charles Apoki. One of the most embarrassing positions you can be in is when your creditor comes to your residence to embarrass you. When your landlord embarrasses you because of rent that is due. When those who are in charge of electricity supply, like in Nigeria, come to cut off your wires and carry them away, your cables and carry them away. And the other thing is for your children to be driven home from school because of school fees. One of the things I learned very early is to avoid debts, owing. And my father ingrained that in my heart very, very early. When we were younger, 5 years, 6 years, some rich men will die and then they will leave debts behind, and some of them, their properties might be seized by the bank. And anytime my father was narrating such stories, I always listened and resolved that I won't fall into that trap. And so, as I stand here, I don't owe any bank. I'm following my father's instructions. Banks come to meet you when you have done well, that you should come and take facilities. They send you all kinds of messages to come and take facilities. I deliberately resist such things. My bankers know that I am loan averse. One of the loans I took immediately after youth service to open my first practice, just to buy some things to add to what I had saved during service and during work period, took me time to pay. There's so many demand and COT, this, that. I resolved never to take money from the bank again. One key principle is that if I cannot afford it now, I can wait. I have learned to do without many things. If I can't afford this particular brand, I can buy another brand that is equally effective but might be cheaper. When I bought SUV, I bought Pathfinder 7-seater SUV, 2007 model. The Toyota Prado of that same size and age was more expensive. I needed a car that was high from the ground. I needed a Japanese car. I needed a car that could carry 7 people, carry the family. I needed a car I could travel with to go and preach with some level of status in quotes. So I could buy that one while the Toyota brand was more expensive. I have driven it since 2015 to 2023. The engine is still standard. Now that the fuel price have gone up, I drive the Toyota Hilux that was given to me as a gift. It is cheaper to run. It is able to do what I want to do. So, buy the brand that you can afford. You don't need to buy the expensive brand. I have a friend. He does not like Nigerian paracetamol. He prefers paracetamol from the UK. For me, a headache that Nigerian paracetamol cannot cure in Nigeria, they should cut my head off and carry it to the UK and treat it there with UK paracetamol. So I don't create headaches that Nigerian paracetamol cannot cure. So I won't wait until I get paracetamol from the UK before I take an analgesic, though I hardly take medications. So I try to make what is available functional for me. If I don't have, that is my state. It is not my status. So I can take public transport to go and preach, and they will carry me from the bus terminal to wherever I'm going to speak. Nobody knows the car I came with. I cannot put myself under pressure to go and impress people who don't even care. So if I don't have, I manage what I have. If I can do without it, I do without it. Number 3, I don't succumb to pressure to do things to match status or to match societal expectation. I buried my father and my mother 3 weeks apart. I'm not sure I was up to 33. My brothers didn't contribute. I shouldered the bills. I even built a house during that period, but I did not owe at the end. Anything they told me to do that was outside my budget, I rebelled, protested aggressively, and they allowed me to do what I will do. They are my parents, not your own. I buried them the way I want. And I told them before they died. So, when they said I should shoot cannon, I didn't shoot. They said I should do this. It is the one I can afford, or I could afford that time, that I did. And when I got back home, the next day, I was not owing any person. When I wanted to get married as a young man, I was 26 then, it was what I could afford that I spent. You don't put me under pressure. For a long time, my television was just a small colored TV here, plasma TV, until the screen spoiled, and I bought a bigger one. I did not buy it under pressure. I was not owing. I did not buy it stressing myself. I earned the money before I bought it. Don't spend speculatively. Don't spend what you have not earned. When I do my conferences, I don't owe. I don't do large billboards that I cannot afford. I do banners that I can afford. And I use a method that is cost-effective to attract those who will come. It is not the size that I am interested in. It is the sustainability. I won't invite guest preachers I cannot take care of. A lot of young pastors, even older pastors, when they finish programs, they are owing. You can't bring a man, you cannot pay his hotel bills. Not only one, you will bring 4. Some of them might fly first class. You can't bring a guest artist that you will pay 1 million to sing. What is he or she going to sing that we have not heard? So I don't put myself under pressure when I'm hosting programs or when I'm doing programs. Anything I do, as long as it is achieving its results, all the extra fanfare, I trim them down. I believe in minimalism. I believe in an effective utilization of resources. Once the message is delivered, every other frivolity, I avoid it because I hate stress. One of the things I've also learned to do is to manage what I have effectively. I always ask myself, how best can I deploy these resources? I do a cost-benefit analysis. The next thing is that I try as much as possible to avoid people who create unnecessary appetites, tastes, and pressures on me. I avoid them. If I want to do some things, I don't tell them. Because you see this shirt I'm wearing? I bought it in Europe 2012. That is 11 years. It is my shirt, it is my body. If you don't like the shirt, you don't like my body, please off this video. But I'm wearing it, it is my own. I have given out several clothes, but this one I like it because I'm emotionally attached to it. I don't just buy things that I don't need. I don't buy things that I don't need. I only buy things that I need. I don't create avenues that will drain resources for me from me when I'm broke. So my school is not far from here. I trek to church and I trek to work when I don't have resources. I don't go and queue for fuel because I must drive to work. No. Since 1988, when I started my first practice, and 1986, when I started working in a private hospital, all my businesses have been very close to my residences. I either live in the same place or it's not far from where I am living. So I don't spend money in commuting. I put my children in schools I can afford. I don't speculatively send children to school or to schools that I cannot afford. I could not afford sending my children to the UK. I could not afford sending my children to the US. So I sent them to a country in Eastern Europe where the fees were moderate and I could pay and get the same results that I wanted. And so I trained 3 of them without owing. I will say this, I belong to several cooperatives. If you don't belong to cooperatives in the third world, you are doing yourself a disservice. I belong to several cooperatives. My wife runs a cooperative. And so I compulsively save in my cooperatives so that if I want a loan from my cooperative, my money in the cooperative, most times, I can take an equivalent amount without needing somebody to sign for me. If I have an amount there, I am entitled to 3 times the amount I have in the cooperative. And I ensure that I pay my debts regularly. One of the things you must learn to do is pay your debts regularly. Don't think you will get big money one day to offset it at a time. That is a stupid idea that makes people owe. The next thing is that if somebody gives you money, let me give you my own experience. I sell real estate. When people buy real estate from me, I'm supposed to do their surveys and do their legal transactions. I ensure that the first things I pay for are the things that concern that land transaction. So I pay for the survey, I pay for the deeds. If there is any defect, it is not from my side, it is from whoever I've given the money to that refused to perform. So I try as much as possible to make sure that if somebody gives me money to do a thing, that thing is done promptly. It is in your keeping that money at home or with you that leads to temptation. Any problem that will not kill me, I will leave it till later. I will not use another person's money to solve it, hoping that I will make money somewhere. I beg of you, practice the principle of minimalism and delayed gratification. There's no burial ceremony that we have not seen that your own is going to be the greatest. There's no wedding we have not seen. We saw Prince Charles and Diana. There is no birthday party we have not seen. There is no food that we will eat that we will not defecate. There is no wine that we will drink that does not contain ethanol. It's basic thing. It's just the taste of the container and whatever ingredients that are added. Ethanol is ethanol. There is no dress you are going to wear that you will not pull off when you want to sleep. There is no shoe you will wear that will not need polishing or you will pull off when you get home. Anything you wear to bed that you can pull off before you get to bed is not worth all the sacrifices that you sometimes put to owe. There is no car that you will not change the tire one day. There is no car that you will not change the engine oil one day. If you drive past me and I'm going at a speed of 100 kilometers per hour, if you drive past me within a space of 1 hour, If there's a little delay, I will be at your back. We will arrive there somehow. So I don't try to live beyond my means. I try to live within my means. If I can go with simple air flight, stay in your first class, I stay here. They will separate us with curtains, but we will land at the same time. Our luggages might come at the same time. Your wristwatch will tell time, mine will tell time. That is the way I have disciplined myself. When I sleep peacefully. When I wake up, it's only urine that wakes me up. I'm not under pressure financially. I remain your friend. I know they have taught you about other people's money. Be very careful. Be very, very careful who you listen to. Subscribe to my YouTube channel. Share this video, it will help somebody. And I remain your friend, Dr. Charles Apoki. God bless you.